GoTron88 here with a guide on T-spin donations. A T-spin donation basically means you're temporarily plugging up a Tetris well only to reopen it with a T-spin, allowing you to maintain a back-to-back bonus. This does not mean donating to me personally for completing T-spins.
Donate.
Just like absolutely every other method in Tetris, the combo possibilities are pretty much endless and can range from simple T-spin single builds to crazy back-to-back setups over a hole. And of course, true to Tetris fashion, some have incredibly wacky, inexplicable names. I would love to explain the corporate slave train or the 1,000 birds grid method just for their names alone. Instead, this video will cover 3 of the more common T-spin double natural donation builds. Kaidan, Parapet, STMB Cave. Natural donations are simply builds that allow you to stack 2 rows over an existing well, which can then be cleared with 1 T-spin double. The key with any of these donations is to ensure that you stack only 2 rows over your well and nothing more. This means you must also pay special attention to the placement of the overhang during setup and not place it over your well. Hopefully, by learning these 3 builds specifically, you'll gain a better understanding of T-spin donations as a whole. Alright, let's get started with the Kaidan. It's also called stairs, but Kaidan sounds cooler, so we'll stick with that.
Kaidan.
But really, stairs is actually a more apt name because with the
Kaidan.
you're actually looking for a 3-row tall stair shape as your starting point. Most often, you'll spot this shape when you're building a Tetris well on one of the far edges of the board, though it's not actually a requirement. The key to the
Kaidan.
is to place the S or Z piece vertically on the bottom of the stairs to block the hole below it with 2 blocks. Then you simply create the overhang on the top of the stairs to form the T-spin. You can then clear those top 2 lines with the T-spin, allowing you access to the Tetris for the back-to-back.
Kaidan.
Also, quick note, order doesn't really matter. You can also create the overhang first, then drop the S or Z piece for the same effect. Next up, parapet. Now, of course, we all know what a parapet is, obviously. It's a low protective wall along the edge of a roof, bridge, or balcony. Example, she stood on the bridge leaning over the parapet to watch the water race by. Yeah, English, right? Am I right? Yeah. The parapet is also named after the shape it creates. Unlike the Kaidan, this will not work if your well is on the edge of the board. It requires at least 1 line on the edge in order to place the L or J such that the Tetris well is blocked by the singular block jutting out of that piece, creating a parapet such that she can stand over the bridge to lean over the parapet to watch the water race by. In order to properly perform the parapet, you need a T-shape pre-existing over your well. So basically a 2-high stair on each side of the well. The wall counts. If you have this shape available, all you do is cover your hole with the L or J piece, create the overhang on the opposite side, and voila, donation. Also, like the
Kaidan.
order doesn't matter. You can also create the overhang first, then place the L or J piece. Also, you don't necessarily even need to use an L or J piece to create the donation. That's just specific to the parapet build. See 1,000 birds grid, for example. finally, we have the STMB Cave. As the name implies, the name is derived from the fact that a man named Samuel Tom Marquis Benedict discovered it in 1864 while caving through the southern Alps of... Okay, I'm kidding. Nobody actually knows where the name came from. Honestly, you're probably just better off calling it the floating double. So the STMB Cave is actually a bit different than the previous two examples in that while it can be built over a Tetris well, it can also be not. It can be built over a 3-wide well and actually technically over no well at all. The only prerequisite for the SMQRST whatever is 2 ledges at equal levels, 3 blocks apart. So whatever is between the 2 ledges is inconsequential, whether it's 1, 2, 3 wide, or no well at all. You can make this donation work. To perform the SB and the floating double, you place either the S or Z piece horizontally on one of the ledges. Then create the overhang on the opposite side. As I said earlier in the video, there are tons of donation setups, both simpler and more complex than the ones I've shown here. But hopefully these examples give you a good idea of how donations work. And of course, as I've said before, both 4.lol and HardDropWiki are good online resources that show both these donation setups and other donation setups. This has been my TED Talk. Thanks for watching.